Everybody, happy Monday. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. My name is Michelle Garrett. I am the founder of Divas with a Purpose. And it's Moment of Truth Monday. I hope you're all having a great start to your moment of truth, well, to your Monday. I am here today having an important conversation, and it is a conversation that is sponsored and brought to you with a partnership between the American Academy of Pediatrics and the CDC. I'm working with Women Online, and it's a conversation and a topic that I have been talking about quite frequently over the past few months, since about September or so. I did a broadcast or blog post where I was talking about the importance of finding your three and how it impacts those of us that may be have the effects of adverse childhood experiences. And essentially what those are, there's a list of certain things that can happen in a child's while they're a child. Y'all, let me take a sip of my coffee. Hold on. I'm gonna get it together. It's been a Monday. Here in South Carolina, we had a series of storms that came through starting at about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning. So I have been up since then, rocking and rolling. So my brain is a little scattered, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all a part of the world that we're living in right now, with having our children home with us and working from home and shifting and changing and adjusting as we need to adjust. And that's all, that's a big part of the conversation that I want to have today when it comes to finding your three and how we can prevent adverse childhood experiences by giving our children the opportunity and the knowledge of how to find a support system. We know we want to be our babies like everything. However, if you can remember being a teenager, you can remember being a tween, there were some conversations that you just did not feel comfortable having with your parents. And so having people around you, having resources around you that you were able to utilize so that you could have those sensitive conversations or reach out made a big difference. And the same way that makes a big difference in our children and in our childhood, we can still utilize that as adults, especially with everything that is going on right now in today's day and time. You know, many of us are home. Hey, there's Stevie. Hey, Kim. Hey, Bessie. Thanks so much for joining in. Many of us are working from home. We have our children home with us. We've had to completely shift and change how we operate. And there are a lot of added pressures to us. There are a lot of added stressors to our daily communication, to the things that we have to do throughout our routines. And it can get tough. Okay. If you are watching this and you feel comfortable doing it, if you have felt stressed, just additional stress or anxiety within the past month, I want you to just put, heck yeah. Or you can be like, talking to me, Diva, talking to me, Diva. And it's normal. It's absolutely normal because, you know, so much has changed. There's so much uncertainties that are there. And we want to make sure that we are doing our part, that we are, so that we can pay attention to our overall mental health and ensure that we are our best selves for ourselves first, and then that will trickle down to the others that are in our household, so our spouses and our children as well. And the Find Your Three initiative is so important to me, and I think it's something that we all need to not only implement within our personal lives, but make sure that we are teaching our children and the young people that we encounter, and we have, whether we're aunties, whether we are mentors, whether they're a part of maybe something that you do within your church or with your community, so that they can know at an early age the importance of having a support system and how to use that support system. That's the key part, because oftentimes we'll have the people, we'll know, and I'm speaking totally from Michelle, and it may just be me, but we'll have the people. but we don't have the necessary conversations with them so that they are able to help us. They're able to assist us when we truly need it. And so I've shared it in the past that my three outside of my family, so I have my immediate family that I am able to connect with, and they know like when I need to talk or if they need to check in with me. But I also lean on and have the support of my medical team. So I'm checking in with them on a regular basis, and I have the numbers that I need, that if I'm feeling extra stress, extra anxiety, that I'm able to have those conversations with them, and they are trained to know, different signs and things to look out for. And because we've been working together so closely since this past summer, they know when they can start to see signs that sometimes I may overlook because I'm so busy just being in the moment. And then I also have my divas, my girlfriends, the women that are just a huge part of my life, that have been there to support me, that they have showed up when I really didn't want anybody to show up, but they still showed up and they allowed me the space that I needed. They let me know I'm here for you when you need me to be here for you. And someone, I'm not going to call Bestie's name, let me know that she was there for me even even when I didn't want her to be there, or I didn't feel like being bothered, because that was the mental capacity and space that I was in. But they continue to reach out. They continue to just say, hey, we don't have any expectations of you. And I think sometimes when we are having those conversations and when we are the support system for somebody else, we confuse being supportive with feeling as though we have to always act and do something for them. So sometimes being a part of that support system is just letting them know I'm here for you. If you need to talk to me and just vent, then just talk to me and vent. I'm not going to give you any feedback. I'm not going to try to solve your problems. Or if I just need to send you a quick text message and say, hey, I know you probably won't respond to this, but I wanted you to know that I think you're amazing. I think you're great. I'm proud of you. I admire you because of this. Just whatever it is that that person may need to hear to help build up their self-esteem, depending on what it is that they're going through. And I had people like that. I had a girlfriend who, for a month, for 26 days straight, she sent me a text message, and each day it was something that she loved about me, that based on the letters of the alphabet. So she went from A to Z and shared it with me. And she was very upfront in her text message and said, I don't expect you to respond to me. Because at that time I really was in a place where I had to focus on Michelle only. But that's a big reason why she's a part of my three, because she saw that there was a need. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't know, how I was doing or anything, but she just knew that I wasn't present the way that I typically am present. And she took it upon herself to say, this is what I can do, and this is how I can pour into you at this point in time. So having people like that in your, look, I just noticed she was here. Having those people that are in our lives that are able to do those things and show up. Yes, Kawan, you are definitely here. Kawan is one of those people that will just show up. But having her, and it's a good with Kawan, having her as a part of my three is she has a background in what I need. And so she is able to not only be there for me as my friend, but she can also be there as a mental health expert to be able to help me with the things that I need. So she's there listening, but I don't feel as though I have to, shape my words or speak to her differently because of who she is. I'm thankful that she's going to show up as a person that I need her to show up in that moment. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've talked about my three so far: is my medical team, my divas, and then my online community. I know that may seem weird to some people, but I have made some of the most amazing connections via my social media connections. And so there are people that I have not met face to face ever. And who knows, we may not ever meet face to face. But because of the interactions and the engagements that we have had online, they were able to see that something was amiss because I wasn't showing up. And so they were able to send out messages or connect and communicate with people that they knew me, so that they could just make sure that I was okay. And so having those type of people in your circle, it makes such a big difference. So when you are looking at, finding your three, I want you to think about who is it that can be there for you when you don't want anybody to be there for you. What are the things that you're going to need to show up as your best self when you may not be in the right place to show up as your best self? And so this can be a combination of people, it can be resources, it can be online websites. There's so many different apps and things that we can use now that you are able to connect with others as well. It could be your medical team as well. So I want you to be thinking, if you don't know yet who your three are, I want you to be thinking and formulating. And if you feel comfortable, I would love it if you would share who your three are in the comments and use that hashtag. Find your three and then let me know who your three are or what your three are, the combination is. So when you have your three, it's good to have them. It's even more important to let them know that they're a part of your three. They need to know this because when you reach out, they need to be able to know that, she's reaching out because she needs my assistance. It's one thing for me to just call my girlfriend and be like, okay, I'm having a rough day, whatever. But if she knows that she's a part of my three, then she's going to be more receptive to what I'm saying because I'm not just calling to vent. I'm not just calling to say, I'm bored and I have nobody to talk to. I'm calling because I am reaching out for help. And so knowing how to react and respond when they receive those calls or if they receive that text message. I have been known to just send out a message, and I've even posted it here on social media at times where if I'm just having a down day, I'll just send out a message and say, today's not a good day. Just keep me in your thoughts, keep me in your prayers, or check in on me in, X amount of time. I've shared on social media, there have been days when I've just been down and I've been like, you know what? Today's not a good day. It's not. Share with me what's making you happy today. So then that way I can look back, and there's a post that I have on my personal page where I had one of those days, and I'm still to this day able to go back to that post and just see the outpouring of love and support where people were sharing with me the things that were making them happy that day. And I am able to then relate it to myself and be like, you know what? My kids get on my nerves quite a bit, but I am thankful for them. You know what? Today is a beautiful day. I am thankful for this sunshine that we're having after that crazy thunderstorm that we had this morning. So it's important to know who your three are and then know how to have a conversation with them so that they know, number one, that they're your three. So let them know, like, hey, you're my three. You're a part of my support system. And if I call on you, this may be what I need from you. And then if you need check-ins, just ask them. Sometimes it's so hard to do that. I know. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about anybody else here. But it's sometimes so difficult to just do something as simple and easy as saying, hey, do you mind checking on me from time to time? If you see that I am not active on social media, or if we typically text or call or talk to each other like every other day or so, and you don't hear from me, or you call and your calls are going to voicemail, or you can see that your text message, if you have a Apple product, that it's still like just sitting there, like I haven't opened it. Can you just do a little extra call or something so that we know that I'm okay? Because, there are times when I may not be, and I may need that additional push to just say, hey, Diva, get it together. Diva, I'm here for you. Is there anything that you need to talk out? Is there anything that I can do to support you? And that simple ask and mutual understanding will make such a huge difference. Such a huge difference in just knowing that you're not on this walk alone. And by doing that and showing that as an example for the younger people that are in our lives, we'll then be able to help prevent those adverse childhood experiences, because our children will see it and we're teaching them and letting them know that these are the people that you can count on. So if there's something that you just don't feel comfortable talking to me about, or there's something that's going on, these are the people, or you just can't reach me at that point in time. These are the people that you can go to. and they will be there for you because we've already had a conversation and we've let them know that they are there for you. And just imagine if we are able to teach our children this and we're able to implement it ourselves. But if they're able to learn this at an early age, my younger two are 8 and 12 years old. Imagine the difference this will make on them as they are growing up. So that means that if they get into this habit and they get into this routine where they are identifying who their three are, that as they go through high school, when they leave my house and they're in college or whatever it is that they choose to do after high school, as they go into young adult and they're on their own or they start their own families, they'll already have it in their mind. It'll be a routine. It'll be a habit that they've already created to know that they need to be identifying three sources that they can always count on. Imagine how many, and then they'll teach that to their children, and their children will teach that to their children. And it's shifting and changing the dynamics of our families. It's shifting and changing the legacies that we and our kids will be able to leave because it will help us to show up and get the help and support that we need often a lot sooner than if we are just bottling that all in and keeping it to yourself. And I'm speaking this from pure, absolute firsthand knowledge because I've been there. I've shared on social media. I've talked about it on my website, just how I hit rock bottom. And even though I had those people that I could count on, I didn't use them. I pushed them away, but they didn't see so that they couldn't see what was going on. But now that I've had those conversations with them, they know, and they know just how to show up for me when I need for them to show up. Kim says generational mental wealth. Yes. We talk about leaving a legacy when it comes to like money, and we talk about a legacy when it comes to like all that other stuff. But imagine the difference if we can change the overall just goodness and wellness of our loved ones, our children and our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. So even when we're no longer here present on this earth, the things that we started will make a difference. Okay, so really quick recap, as those of you that are coming in, is I want you to find your three. I want you to identify three people, three resources, three things that you can use when you need somebody to check in on you. And it could be if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you have other things that are going on and you're just saying, you know what, especially with everything that's going on right now, with us being, many of us sheltering in place, it gets stressful. Okay? It gets stressful. I promise you. If anybody was on Periscope, did y'all see my live when I was outside? I put myself in timeout outside because I had one of those mornings. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk away and I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to get some vitamin D and I'm going to get some fresh air and I'm just going to relax, relate, release. And I reached out to my online community because I jumped on after sitting out there for about 20 minutes. I jumped on and did a Periscope broadcast. And so that was my way of reaching out and using my support system as well. CB, yep, you were there when I did that. So you're going to figure out who your three are, identify them, and let them know. Have a conversation with them if it's an actual person. And then if it's like an app or medical team or anything like that, make sure that you know who they are and be able to lean on them when you need to. And then know what conversations to have with them, and then ask them to check in on you. It's that simple. And also realize, because I know, just like I have my three, I know that I am a part of other people's support systems as well. So it's a give and take. So the same way that I'm asking others to check in on me, there are certain people that I know that they are depending on me. And we've had conversations, and they know that there are boundaries that have to be in place just based on my personal circumstances, but I am still able to check in on them. I am still able to be available for them when they need me to, and help them in the ways that they need to be helped when I'm able to, and also be able to give them that extra push if it's something that I can't handle or manage, and have them either seek professional assistance or refer them to someone in my network that I have known and have grown over the years that may be able to give them additional assistance with something that they may be struggling with, whether it's productivity, whether it is productivity is the one that comes up quite a bit, but just stress management, all of those things, so that we are able as a group to be able to be absolutely amazing. My goal was to make this 20 minutes or less, and I did it, y'all. And anybody that knows how much of a talker I am knows how wonderful that is for me to do. Thank you all so much for joining and taking part in this important conversation. I see all the comments. I'm going to go back and reply to them as soon as this ends. You all have an amazing day, and I appreciate each of you for being a part of my 3.